Let me say this. I know we've always applauded Gideon that he was threshing wheat by the winepress. Such ingenuity. This guy is too ingenious. How was he threshing wheat by the winepress? But let me remind you, the Bible told us that the reason why he was doing this, he wanted to hide it from the Midianites. In other words, Gideon would not have been threshing wheat by the winepress if there was no Midianite factor. So the reason why he was doing this is because of the Midianites. So where are you going to? Let me break it down. Very simple. What Gideon was doing was to respond to the oppression of the Midianites, was reacting to the oppression of the Midianites, was finding a way to adapt to the prevailing oppression of the Midianites. But when the angel came to Gideon, he said to Gideon, men of valor, they don't adapt. The angel could have come to Gideon and said, Gid, see you now. Sharp guy. See the way you are just adapting. See the way you are just threshing wheat by the winepress. Man, guy, you smart dad. He looks at him and tells him, this is not the way to live. The devil cannot give an agenda and then you start adapting to the agenda. And you think you are a genius. And he said, no, you got it wrong here. There's something you need to do. It is time for warfare. We don't adapt. We war. He calls Gideon and says, mighty man of valor. In other words, there's power. This is battle time. You got to be battle ready. Don't accept what is not the status quo. Don't agree to what God did not ordain. The devil cannot put anything around you and you start adapting. Some of us have adapted to some sicknesses. You've adapted to, I will be swallowing these tablets every day. I've accepted this as a part of, no. God says, no, don't do that. I don't want you to adapt that this is now your new reality. I don't want you to adapt that this is where you're going to remain. I don't want you to adapt that smallness is now your portion. I don't want you to adapt that things are going to be the same way for you. Even if you don't want to war, I want you to war because you will not hand over this legacy of negativity to your children. You will look your children in the eye and tell them there was a time the devil came, brought this around my way, but I have broken the cycle. I was that generation that the Lord used to break the cycle. We will not hand over diabetes. We will not hand over disappointment. We will not hand over shame. We will not hand over rejection. We will not hand over infirmity. We will not hand over diseases. We refuse to adapt. We raise a war cry. We thunder fire. Fire. Raise your voice and thunder fire.